Hampton's off the right tackle. Stopped by number 50, Rod Hampton. Also 40, Jonathan Shelby in on the tackle there.
Hampton on the tackle for Fairfield.
This Fairfield defense playing a little tougher right now.
It'll be second and
So
about
Jameel Bullard is going to come in and let Kenneth come off and take care of that ankle a little bit.
Looks as though it's bothering him just a little bit.
Yeah.
Choosing not to run off on it. He's trying to loosen it up a little bit.
Well, that's the ankle that was bothering him. Kept him out of one game earlier this year. So Bullard is in now at the fullback position. Robert Davis at the tailback position. Jay Robertson's going to pass the football. He's got Michael Andrzejewski way out in front. Brian Burton defending. Just couldn't quite turn the handle on that.
Turned him around with that one.
That's enough to make your defensive secondary think a little bit, though.
That should loosen up that defense. As I said, they were throwing a 7 and 8 man front at the Patriots. And a pass or two like that, a completion, or even one like that so close to being completed. If it was thrown over the other shoulder, he would still be running.
Right.
And unfortunately, on the wrong shoulder, but it should work to loosen up that Fairfield defense.
Ooh, a hard hit in the middle. A hard hit. Everybody up and running, though. The stop by number 52, Edwin Patterson. That was a tough one, right in the middle of the line.
Say right in the solar plexus. Robert Davis on the ground, which not many people have done tonight.
You can see Kenneth is taking off that the tape that's on that right ankle, and they're going to take a look at it. They may tape it up again for him. Hope he'll be able to get back in the game. Certainly hope that ankle is all right. A loss of 1 on that play. That brings up the obvious, a 4th and long. Jay Robertson back to punt. Jay gets it away. Number 45, that's Gene Godwin. He fell on it just in time, but there was a moment there where I thought he might not recover that fumble.
Very dangerous play by Gene Godwin. If it bounces the wrong way or reflects off one of his pads, gets in the middle of the field, any man's ball. He's fortunate to retain possession of that one.
Ball's on about the 43-yard line.
Well, Jay got off a 28-yard punt that time, and so Fairfield takes over now on their own 43, and they've got good field position this time.
Godwin and Godwin in the backfield.
We got 6:45 remaining in the half. Pratt on the keeper, around right in. He's up for 6 or 7 yards. A good run by Eddie Pratt.
Not even really making much of a fake that time. There wasn't much doubt. Using the bootleg and just fake it and go.
His coach might want to tell him about tucking that ball in under his right forearm there, but a good play. 2nd and short now.
And it looks as though he got around the end and just simply outran the Homewood defense. Michael Flint that time playing defensive end just got outside of Michael.
Yeah.
Picked up about 6-7 yards.
Well, 2nd and 2 now from the 46. The first down would come at the 48. Pratt gives to his second man through. That's Godwin, the big tailback. Godwin with first down yardage and more.
By Homewood, it's pushed down.
That broke the plane of the 40-yard line, so a first down for Fairfield now at Homewood's 39.
Godwin beginning to run like Coach Thompson thought he would, and Godwin is a very good running back. He's a load when he gets into the second.
Yeah, he really is. 10 yards that time. First down at the 39.
39-yard line of Homewood. Pratt at quarterback. Gene Godwin and Bench and Godwin are in the backfield.
Pratt looks him over. He's got another 1st and 10. He's going to fake to Godwin. Passing right over the middle. Off 2 hands. My goodness gracious. It was close. Brian Greer thought he had it. Burton was the intended receiver. Eugene Oliver almost had it too.
Eugene Oliver almost had it. Brian Greer almost had it. But the scary part was Terrence Hunter came about as close to having it in the open field as anyone. He was about a step or two from catching that deflection.
Well, just off the fingertips. So, 2nd and 10 now. the down and distance. 5:19 remaining in the half. I invite you to stay tuned at halftime for another outstanding performance by the Homewood Patriot Marching Band. Pratt's going to pass it up. Pressured in the pocket. Somebody grabbed his shirt at the last second there. The pass is intended for Burton and out of bounds. Elvin Skipper defending. Brings up 3rd and 10.
3rd and 10, Elvin Skipper. Good position that time. Any completed pass would have to have gone through Elvin Skipper. You'll see Kenneth Evans that time with a brace on that ankle, talking to the trainer, giving him some information on just how it feels, what happened. Don't know if we'll see Kenneth again tonight. He's going to be taking off some of his pads.
Interesting defensive move here just pointed out to us. Wes Steed playing outside linebacker now. Wes is usually the free safety. Pass over the middle. Pratt pass to...
I believe he sure did.
That was
outstanding pass.
Burton, number 12. What an outstanding one-handed grab. We'll see where they mark it down to see if they've got enough. The referee signals he does have a first down.
And he deserves one with that catch.
What a catch.
He sure does.
Tucked it in with that left hand, landed on the ball.
I think that might have been the reason they moved Wes Steed to that side on that play. They were looking for something out of that tight end. Wes, they feel a little more nimble, a little bit easier for him to keep up with the tight end.
Well, Pratt has another first down. That one's going nowhere. A blitz situation. Most of Homewood's linebackers in the backfield that time. Godwin was the ball carrier.
Mark Scholl in on that tackle now. Mark Scholl in at one of the defensive spots right now, assisting on that tackle.
The play failed again, and the ball stays on the 29-yard line. Give them maybe a yard on it, maybe a half a yard on it. Actually, take a half a yard away. Call it 2nd and about 11. Pratt looks him over. The backers come again. He's back deep. The pass just off the fingertips of the intended receiver, number 85, Genoa Smith. Greer and Hogue defending.
Fairfield, interesting. Fairfield going into I guess you would call it a passing mode, but they're doing it from a double tight end set. They have no wideouts, yet they're throwing the ball.
Well, brings up 3rd and 11 now. 4 minutes remaining in the half. Mike Quinton indicates this is a big down, and I have to agree, my friend. Big down for Fairfield. Big down for Homewood to stop it.
Now they're going with a spread formation, wideouts to both sides.
Pratt's back to pass. He's looking, being pressured. He throws it as all he's got, and he's got enough.
Oh my.
Goodness gracious. Tyrus Moss in the end zone for the touchdown. A beautiful pass from Eddie Pratt.
Sure was. Someone went to sleep on that one.
Well,
Tyrus Moss at the baseline of the end zone.
A 27-yard pass from Eddie Pratt to Tyrus Moss puts Fairfield on the scoreboard. 3:51 now remaining in the half. The game a long way from being over.
Sean Shepard to try for the extra point conversion.
The extra point kicker for Fairfield is Sean Shepard, I believe. Sean Shepard, and they signal that it's good. There are flags all over the field, though. We'll have to stop and see what the penalty might be. The extra point was good, but we'll wait and see if we get a ruling. Hard to see in this particular case. That was an 8-play drive, by the way, covering about 57 yards, 3 minutes off the clock for Fairfield. Very effective, but most of that drive was the pass from Eddie Pratt to Moss, all alone in the end zone.
Moss setting up that time as the wide out to the right side. Ran all the way down the field and across the baseline of the end zone. Looked as though someone dropped coverage is what happened. And the quarterback, to his credit, was able to find him in the back of the end zone. There was pressure on the quarterback, and somehow he was able to find Moss at the baseline. I don't think
absolutely.
Not a planned play.
Pratt threw on the run.
He absolutely did.
He threw it, and he threw all he had. He gave it absolutely all he had. We're waiting to find out what the ruling is going to be from the officials as they hold a seminar down on the field. Both officials are coming to the sidelines to explain to the coach what the call is going to be.
So they were. So illegal participation, I believe, is the call. They'll penalize the offending team on the kickoff.
All right, so the extra point is good. It's 17-7 now. Homewood with a 10-point lead, 3:51 remaining in the half. The penalty will be assessed on the kickoff.
Come on back. Let's go get tough.
And the start of another one here. Sean Shepard set to kick it off. Davis deep, flanked by Greer and Skipper.
Skipper, Davis, and Greer back to
Shepard advances on the ball.
Sean Shepard.
It's coming down to Davis. Robert takes it on the run, but he fumbles. That one's wild when it's all over the place. The referee signals Fairfield recovered.
Fairfield has it, number 55.
55, Alfred Harris picks it up for Fairfield, and oh my goodness gracious. Robert took it on the run, but he wasn't quite far enough to manage that football.
Robert wasn't as fortunate as Gene Godwin was with his punt. Same type of play, low trajectory. Robert tried to take it on the run, and unfortunately he did what Gene didn't. He kicked the ball about 20 yards forward.
Well, Coach Mike Thorson's got his defense back in there, and we're talking now, time to stiffen up. Pratt's back to pass, sets up in that pocket. His receiver was open. 25 was the receiver, Tyrus Moss, the one who caught the touchdown pass a few moments ago. He was wide open, but the pass was just overthrown, just off his fingertips.
Coach Thompson has found something he's going to stay with. His passing offense has been able to move this team down the field on the last possession at least. And right now, taking a timeout. Homewood taking a timeout to put some strategy and slow down this Fairfield offense.
Well, Coach Thorson wants to talk to him about what's going on here.
Gary Avenue in Fairfield.
He is
located at 4600 Gary Avenue, Fairfield.
I get the impression that the coach knows exactly what he wants, and he's communicating that now. Do you sense that?
I think he's making an impression on some of these Homewood Patriots, probably extolling them to do their best.
Absolutely. Well, sometimes you do have to stop for a few minutes. You have to assess what's going on. It's tough out on that field to know exactly what's going on, and that's why they got coaches and that's why they got players. It's Coach Thorson showed us in the Sylacauga game, first game of the year, how that defense could adjust.
And a few adjectives thrown in here and there in a huddle doesn't hurt a bit.
All right, Fairfield's got it, 2nd and 10 now on the incompleted play. Pratt, the quarterback, on the keeper, right over the center. First down yardage and much, much more. Now I thought I saw a signal for a touchdown, but I'm not sure.
No, I'm not sure I saw a touchdown.
Refs are calling for a timeout. We're not sure.
It's short of the touchdown. Short of the touchdown. It's a first down.
A first down.
I think what we saw was a referee unsure as if he wanted to stop the clock or not.
Yeah, as to whether to stop the clock or not. Danny Callis tells us it's down on the 5-yard line. So, 1st and goal for Fairfield. Pratt on the keeper that time, right off the center.
Interesting setup. We have a timeout right now for Fairfield. This is too important for them to mess up. They're taking a timeout. They're going to talk about it. But an interesting turn of events. They've used a spread formation, and then they've gone to double tight ends, and then they've gone back to a spread formation. Right then, they came out in the spread, and the quarterback, Pratt, seeing the opening, perhaps the Fairfield coach is seeing the same opening, and exploiting that. I know Homewood's defense was not ready for that play.
Yeah, no question about it. A 21-yard gain for Eddie Pratt, running the ball himself. Fairfield, interestingly enough, however, has no timeouts remaining in the half. 3:06 now. They've got plenty of time to score from here, but they have no timeouts remaining.
I'm not sure that'll hurt them for the rest of the half. Their first half is right now. If they get this ball in, it's a brand new game. Fairfield has a fight on their hands. If Homewood is able to stop them on this possession from the 5-yard line with a 1st and goal, I don't think Fairfield can mount another challenge in the first half. And we see right there Kenneth Evans foot in a brace on the bench, and somewhat dejected, thinking about possibly next week rehabilitating that leg and watching, perhaps like the rest of the Patriots, not sure what's happening on defense.
Well, Pratt's the quarterback. Godwin, the cousins, are tailback and fullback. Pratt's going to pass. He likes the air game. Incomplete. Hard to see from this low level who the intended receiver was. Looked like it was Brian Burton. So, brings up 2nd and goal now from the 5.
Trying to play it's a timing pattern. You see at the end of the play, Burton signaling to Pratt, get the ball up higher. A little higher throw over the top of the defensive back is the way that play is designed. Unfortunately, Pratt had a lower trajectory, and Elvin Skipper, I believe, was on the coverage and had good position.
Absolutely. Skipper covering. 2nd and goal now from the 5. Homewood wants a timeout if they can get it, and they got it. They got it. They wanted to see what that offensive set was going to look like. Now they've got a timeout. That's their 2nd timeout of the half. They have 1 remaining. Fairfield, of course, as we told you just a few moments ago, with no timeouts remaining.
We've got 3 minutes to go in this first half. It's 17-7. Homewood Patriots.
Well, Fred, when the first series of downs was over, I thought we were in for sort of an easy evening, to tell you the truth. And it's not turned out to be that way at all.
I'm with you 100%. Marched the ball a good, it's about, I think it was 60 yards on the first possession. Score a touchdown, recover a fumble, take it in on the 2nd possession, kick a field goal on the 3rd possession, or later in the half, and 17-0. You would think that would be a prelude to an easy game. Coach Thompson and the Fairfield Tigers, give them credit. They have come up with an offensive plan right now and a strategy that appears to be working well. They've used some spread formations. They've used just strong running by the Godwin cousins, Vashon and Gene. Some outstanding running. Also a play by Pratt on the quarterback draw. Homewood wasn't ready for it, and now Fairfield's knocking at the door. 2nd down.
All right, 2nd and 5 now from the 5. 2nd and goal. Pratt on the keeper around the right side. Who grabbed him from the back?
On the carry for Fairfield.
It's like Michael Flint.
Michael Flint got him. Scott Hogue got him. 2-yard gain. The ball's on the 3 now.
He's got 3rd down and about 3 yards to go.
Time to get tough. Time to get tough.
Big play for the Patriots.
Pratt on the keeper, and I don't believe he's going to make it.
It'll be close. It'll all depend on the spot.
Call to stop the middle of the Homewood line. You can see them as they get up. Flint, Coggin, Southward.
Like they're calling it a 4th down now.
Rebels.
About a yard and a half.
Gain of a yard. Ball on the 2-yard line now. 4th and goal from the 2. Here comes the play.
Big decision. Do you kick the field goal and come at them in the 2nd half, or do you go for the touchdown and risk coming away with nothing?
And they have no timeout left to make that decision, so they're going to go for it. Keep playing this first half right here, ladies and gentlemen. The referee signaled that Homewood wants a timeout. Coach Thorson wants to talk to him one more time about exactly what they're going to do on this critical 4th and 2. It gives us a chance to mention to you, as you mentioned once before, Fred, that Homewood plays Oxford next Friday evening at Waldrop Stadium. That's homecoming. They'll round out the season with 3 games. McAdory is October 26th at home. Then Midfield, another Area 9 game, is away, and we'll finish the season November 9th against John Carroll, their 4th Area 9 game at home. Also might mention to you that the Homewood Middle School will play October 25th against Simmons at the Berry Field, and that game at 5:30, and then they'll finish their season November 1st against Pelham at Pelham. Those two final games of the season for the middle school at 5:30, both away games. They took on a tough Gresham squad yesterday, and oh my goodness, they were a little bit too much for us.
Gresham has consistently, year in and year out, fielded a very good football team.
All right, we're back and ready to go.
Here we are. What do? You're down 17 points, 17 to nothing. You've been able to put it together. Do you go for the touchdown here? And obviously, Coach Thompson's going to do just that.
Well, there you see it, the ball on the 2. Eddie Pratt, the quarterback. Pratt's going to give to his fullback, his tailback, number 45, Godwin. They say they did not make it. What a defensive stand. Fred, 4 downs inside the 5-yard line. Number 46. Who was it? Michael Coggin. I started to say Michael Flint. 46, Michael Coggin, and Damon Southward, 32, and the rest of the interior line. Rebels and Smith, Hamaker, Thompson, Hogue, all of them. So you can see the clock counting with 1:30 remaining in the half. Homewood's got the ball on their own 1-yard line.
It'll be minute 25 left in the game. Davis on the
They give to Davis off the right side. What do you think that means in terms of a coach's talk at the locker room in the halftime?
I think that'll make it somewhat more enjoyable going in 17-7 as opposed to going in 17-14 or 17-10.
No question about it. They missed the touchdown by literally inches, according to Danny Callis, who can see it on the sideline. They started from inside their 1. The clock runs under a minute now remaining in the half. Jay Roberson passing the ball. Brian Greer, the intended receiver. Defending on that, Sean Shepard.
On the defense for Fairfield, knocked down.
You'd think that we might want to grind it out on the ground and let that clock run a little bit. But that stops the clock with 52 seconds remaining now in the half.
That's a good play. It's a good play. You have an opportunity there. Coach Gann feels he can run out the clock or punt the ball, and as I said before, doesn't really think Fairfield's going to mount a challenge in the last minute. And if you pass, you have a 98-yard scoring play.
The pitch to Davis. Davis coming off the left side. A flag in the backfield. Shepard on the stop for Fairfield. But we'll have to see what the penalty is. Looks like the play gained 3. The ball out now to the 4-yard line. Don't have a preliminary indication of what the call might be, but it looks as though they are talking with the Fairfield players. With the ball on the 4-yard line. The down is 4th. It's pretty obvious Homewood's going to punt the ball. The call is holding. Declined. We'll kick it away from about our 4-yard line.
Number 18, Sean Shepard, dropping deep, along with number 12, Burton.
Jay Roberson, though, with his foot on the back line, or just inside the back line. West Speed to snap it. Jay just barely gets it away. The ball is down just inside the 34-yard line, the Homewood 34-yard line. My goodness gracious, we got out of one that time, didn't we?
We sure did. 15 seconds left to go in the half. Enough time for perhaps 2 plays.
A 30-yard punt. The clock runs with 12, 11, 10, and you recall Fairfield has no timeout, so they're going to snap one quick play. I'll tell you what, Eddie Pratt is dangerous. He's back to pass, pressured. The pass is caught. But the half is over. The clock ran out.
I forgot all about starting the clock. I thought
the clock started again on the punt.
Fortunate for Homewood.
There is a flag down on this play. That was Gene Godwin, the receiver. We'll have to see what the penalty is.
Should be holding against Fairfield.
Holding. against Fairfield. Homewood will decline it.
That'll be the end of
The time runs out in the half. Woo! We got a barn burner.
It has turned into an exciting game. Fairfield coming up with an offensive scheme that seems to be working against this Homewood defense, and Homewood's offense running into a bit of a problem in the second quarter.
Well, that's the first half of play. We'll be back with halftime activities right after this. But for now, we'll say you're watching Homewood Patriot football.
At NTW, you'll always find the largest selection of quality brand tires at the lowest prices. At NTW, you'll find Michelin, Bridgestone, Dunlop, Pirelli, Goodyear, and many more. NTW also offers alignments, brake service, as well as shock and strut replacement using quality Monroe shocks. And NTW's expert service staff won't keep you waiting for hours because NTW believes in fast, quality service. NTW now in 3 Birmingham locations, Homewood, Roebuck, and now in Inverness.
It's Piggly Wiggly food stores for quality foods, friendly service, and fair prices. You'll find a wide selection of the freshest seasonal produce brought in daily, and the finest heavy Western USDA choice beef, and of course, plump, fresh-cut chickens never frozen. And Piggly Wiggly serves hot, fresh deli foods of the finest quality served up daily, the next best thing to home cooking. And Piggly Wiggly food stores are proud of our friendly people serving your needs in Mountain Brook, Homewood, and Southside. It's Piggly Wiggly, the finest food stores around.
When you think insurance, think Buddy Wade. Auto, home, business, life, or health, no matter what your insurance needs may be, Buddy Wade is your local State Farm agent with the insurance experience you want. From his office at the corner of Palisades Boulevard and Columbiana Road, Buddy has served Homewood and surrounding areas for over 15 years. When you think insurance, think experience. Think Buddy Wade. Come by and visit his office or call 942-4444.
Does your money market or savings account earn anywhere near the prime rate? If not, you should consider Central Bank's new Prime account. It pays interest tied to our prime lending rate. As prime increases, so do your earnings. Unlike other savings and investment accounts that don't move with the prime rate. Interested? Ask Central for details on how we can pique your interest. At Central Bank, each depositor is insured by the FDIC.
Back in Fairfield at Clemens Stadium as Homewood set to kick it off to start the second half. West Steve puts his toe into it. It's going to go out of bounds, though, somewhere inside the 20-yard line. Barry Copeland along with Fred Morris back with you here from Fairfield. If you're just joining us, you could have missed the second quarter, but we enjoyed the first quarter. The score here at Fairfield is 17-7, but it could very easily, Fred, have been 17-14.
It very easily could. I was talking to one of our sideline spotters, and he told me the difference in the play on the goal line between a touchdown and coming up inches short. What he said to me was, if they were using a brand new ball with pointed ends, it would be a touchdown. It was that close. He said less than 2 inches, and it would have been 17-14.
Danny Callish indicated that it was literally a matter of inches as we move the ball back to the 35-yard line, and West will kick it off again. West puts the side of his foot into it. This one's going to be in play. Go to Brian. Burton picks it up. Burton takes it up the middle. A stop made by number 21 for Homewood. And that is Tamer Sabry on the special team. Also Scott Hode on the tackle. Well, from the 25-yard line now, Homewood sets up its defense. We'll see what kind of adjustments might have been made in the locker room at the half. Eddie Pratt is your quarterback for Fairfield, who had an outstanding second quarter performance. He's pressured, but he throws over the middle. Brian Greer with the interception. Oh, a big turnover here with just seconds off the clock. The intended receiver was Burton. And Brian Greer sliding into third, as Dizzy D used to say.
It looks as though Burton stopped on his pattern. Just stopped his pattern short. Brian Greer coming up to make a good interception, a diving interception, puts Homewood in business. First and 10 looks to be the 48-yard line.
On their own 49. First and 10, Jay Roberson, the quarterback. Kenneth Evans, let's see, is that Bullard? Jameel Bullard now is in at the fullback position. Robert Davis at the tailback position. Edwin Patterson, number 52 for Fairfield, stopping Robert on that play. So Kenneth's foot is still bothering him, and I'm going to look and see if we see him on the sidelines, but I do not see Kenneth Evans. There he is. There he is. I do see him.
Looks to be warming up, running a little bit down the sidelines. Looks as though they've retaped that ankle. He may give it a go here in the second half.
Testing that right ankle, just to see if it'll give.
Oh, looks as though Robert Davis has fumbled. Fairfield has the ball.
Davis fumble and recovered by Fairfield.
Good grief. Edwin Patterson, number 52 on the recovery. I didn't think he had the ball that time. I guess he lost it before the hit.
Don't believe he ever got the handoff. At the moment he was given the ball by Roberson, he was hit by Fairfield and coughed it up. Fairfield, a golden opportunity.
Well, another big turnover.
Sure is.
Another big turnover. So 2 turnovers with less than 2 minutes off the clock here in the second half. Fairfield has the field position now that they had just a moment ago. The ball just inside Homewood territory. The give is to Gene Godwin, number 45. Michael Flynn on the stop for Homewood. About 4 yards on the play. Call it 2nd and 6 now.
It'll be 4th and 6. 2nd and 6, rather.
All right, the ball is on the 45-yard line of the Homewood Patriots. Fairfield has the ball. 2nd and 6 now.
With B. Godwin and Gene Godwin in the backfield.
Pratt on the fake. I believe a mixed play that time and a big defensive play by the Homewood Patriot squad. Eric Rebels getting up from that pile. Jonathan Hamaker, Scott Hogue, Dusty Smith. Was that Dusty?
I believe that was Dusty on that play.
Michael Flint also on that.
Pratt that time using some play action, rolling around the left end, looking to run more than he was to pass. However, he had a receiver open on that play. The rush from inside out by the Patriots dropped him for a loss on the play.
And Sean Godwin and Gene Godwin in the backfield.
Pratt's dropping way back. He's getting plenty of time. He's got a receiver. Out of bounds before the first down, though. Receiver was number 85. Was that 85, Genoa Smith?
Yes, it was.
Genoa Smith, I guess, not Genoa.
Still
not enough.
We're going to bring up a 4th. Genoa just a little too close to the sideline on that one. Pratt didn't rifle the ball to him. He was wide open and enough time to make the catch and the run. He just positioned himself a little too close to the sideline, and those happy feet stepped out of bounds, about 4 yards short of the first down.
4th and 3 now. Pratt's going for it. The pitch out to Godwin, the tailback. He's got his first down and a whole lot more as Damon's, fumble. Homewood on the recovery. Looked like Michael Flynn on the recovery. Scott Hogue also in on that.
Michael Flynn on the recovery, but Alexander Adamson, number 24, Michael Flynn on the tackle. That was one of those second effort fumbles, one of those great effort fumbles. Godwin, on a good run, had his first down and was going for more, carrying the ball loosely. As you said earlier, he has a knack for doing.
He has a tendency to hold it that way.
That time it cost him. The first down for Fairfield, popped it up. Now it's Homewood's ball going the other way. You see Kenneth Evans there practicing his cutting and see how well he can come out of that stance on that injured ankle. Looks as though he's doing pretty well.
Well, there's a timeout on the field here, and I'm not sure what the call was.
While we have that timeout, why don't we look at some of the stats from the first half? Homewood having the best of it in the scoring, 17-7. First downs, though, would you believe it? Even, 6 apiece.
Oh, absolutely. On the strength of that second quarter that Fairfield had.
Fairfield put together a very strong second quarter, mixing in the pass with the rush, and I think that might have caught the Homewood defensive staff off guard, knowing they can't pass that well.
All right, we'll catch the rest of the statistics in just a minute. Homewood's got the ball now, 1st and 10. We'll try and set the line of scrimmage for you. It looks like it's on about the 31 or maybe right at the 30-yard line. Jay Roberson way back to pass. Alexander Adamson with a magnificent catch right over the middle. Gene Godwin on the stop for Fairfield.
Oh, my. That was
beautiful pass by Jay Roberson and a beautiful play called right from the first play from scrimmage.
They have tried that pass on an occasion earlier in the game and did not connect. On that one, Roberson hit Adamson right in stride. The only thing that kept it from being 6 points is an outstanding effort by Godwin to trip him up as he was breaking away.
He would have been gone. There's movement now on both sides of the line. Looks like Fairfield may have encroached, but there was movement on the left side of the Homewood line as well. I believe they'll call an illegal procedure against Homewood.
It'll be illegal procedure against Homewood.
1st and 15.
That'll move the ball back.
By the way, that Jay Roberson to Alexander Adamson pass was a 44-yard pass play.
Beautiful play.
Woo, what a way to start the second half.
It'll be 1st and 15 from the 32.
All right, 1st and 15 now. The 32 is your line of scrimmage. Jay on a pass to Brian Greer, who's got it on the left. Greer up inside the 20, well, just before the 20-yard line. Brian Burton with the stop for Fairfield. 11 yards that time.
Coach is utilizing that play week to week now. That's becoming one of their favorites, becoming one of Brian Greer's favorites. He's getting better and better at making the yardage after the catch, which is the key to this play. You have to be able to catch the ball behind the line and make it successful by gaining yardage, sometimes in a one-on-one situation.
Davis and Evans in the backfield.
Kenneth Davis back in the ball game.
Let's hope he gets up all right on that ankle. Looks like he's got it all right.
That was Evans on the carry for Homewood.
We're going to have to either watch the television monitor here or stand up because it's tough to see the play on the field from over the team there.
The team has moved down following the action. Looks to be there on the 3rd and 1 now. Big play for Homewood.
Producer Dudley Heineman reminded me I called him Kenneth Davis. I'd have to apologize for that. Well, the pass just off the fingertips of Alexander Adamson. Again, Burton defending, and we've got a penalty on the play. It looks like it might be pass interference.
Burton not believing the call. Hasn't moved since the flag hit him. And you can expect the way the Fairfield players are reacting. Looks to be pass interference on Fairfield. So that would give Homewood a first down deep inside Fairfield territory. Unless they're calling it on the offense. Which they are.
Thanks.
Well, that's a turn of events. Dead ball foul against Homewood. Dead ball foul, something perhaps after the play within the interior line. I didn't see anything downfield with Brian Greer.
Yeah.
Between he and Burton, that would call that. That would bring up a 4th down now.
Well, 4th and a mile.
Coach Gann going?
Not much point in punting at this particular point.
Not this deep, no.
Roberson back to pass, rushed by everybody on the Fairfield squad. Thrown for a tremendous loss, and now another flag on the play. The stop by Keldrick Pritchett, also in on the stop for Rod Hampton, number 50. But there was a late flag. We'll have to see what the call is. Looks like it's going to be a personal foul if you believe Damon Southworth. We'll take it, Damon.
looks to be possibly a little extracurricular activity in the pile. No, earlier in the game, Gene Godwin and Scott Hogue were having an intense conversation at the bottom of one of those piles. So it looks to be a little extracurricular activity on the part of Fairfield.
I think that's clearly what the call was, a personal foul, unnecessary roughness perhaps would be the call. There were 4 or 5 Fairfield players on that pile. They did have Jay absolutely back. A dead ball foul, personal foul against Fairfield. But they're signaling
after the play. After the play, so it is Fairfield's ball.
I see. The flag thrown after the play, so it'll be 1st and 25 now as Fairfield takes over on downs.
That's right.
Dead ball foul against the Fairfield Tigers.
The Homewood offense comes off the field. Fairfield gets set to run their offense. It'll be now 1st and 25.
That's about 25 for Fairfield.
See, there are very few broadcast teams who have a city council person and a former high school referee as their spotters. So we are kept in touch with all the laws and legalities, and we also know all about the calls that the referees make here. All right, 1st and 10 now for Fairfield. Eddie Pratt looks it over. He's going to stick with the air game. Whoa, he's got, look like number 12, Burton. Yes, sir, that brings it up for about a 16, 17-yard gain.
Coach Thompson sticking with this passing offense that has been very good to him so far.
It's been absolutely magnificent for him so far.
You know, the thing that struck me right now is that Homewood is getting very little pressure on Pratt. Very little pressure on the passer so far.
Right, he stays in the pocket extremely well. His receivers are running routes generally from a tight end position. In this case, here's the tight end, and it's overthrown. The pass intended for number 85, Genoa Smith. Scott Hogue and Eugene Oliver defending on that play.
It'll be 3rd down and about 7.
All right, the ball's on the 47-yard line now. 3rd and about 7. And we've had a wild second half.
Quite a bit of action. Quite a bit of action in the first half of the 3rd quarter. And not a lot of scoring, but you can't say it's been dull.
Well, 6:08 now remaining in the 3rd quarter. Again, the score 17-7. Homewood's up, but it's by no means over. Pratt's back to pass. He's got a screen. Screen was to Godwin. Incomplete. Lee Thompson out there defending.
Lee Thompson that time was drawing a bead on Godwin. I think even if he had caught the ball, Lee Thompson would have nailed him dead in his tracks. Weak throw by Pratt that time. Just not a lot on it, and probably caught Godwin off guard.
Not a lot of zip on the ball, and thank goodness that Lee stayed home on that play. All right, Davis and Greer back in to receive the punt. Fairfield kicks it. Robert Davis takes it in, drops the ball, picks it up again, comes around to his right. There's a wall set up. Davis he's outside. I believe he's off to the races, Fred. I don't see a flag. I do not see a flag.
Outstanding run that time by Robert Davis.
85-yard punt return. 85 yards. We do have one injured player on the field, but 85 yards by Robert Davis. Incredible speed around the left side after what looked like a terrible play.
It looked as though disaster had struck again, but you know, that is the case sometimes in these situations. The punt receiver drops the ball, fumbles the ball, muffs the ball. The covering team relaxes. They think we've got him now, and with a player like Robert Davis with outstanding speed, the speed that he does have, and also the special teams of Homewood, they have practiced that time and time again, and as you said, when he got behind the wall, we could see it set up, and we knew no one was going to catch Robert Davis.
Well, the first 3 Fairfield men on the punt overcommitted because he fumbled. The wall sets up, and Davis's incredible speed kicks in around that left side. There were 2 or 3 Fairfield players that could have caught him. He turned the corner, and he was off to the races. Number 12, Brian Burton, is the injured player, just leaving the field now. Brian really twisted that left knee, I believe, on that play. So with timeout on the field, we'll tell you the score now is 23-7, and Homewood will attempt the extra point off the toe of West Steed. 85 yards on a punt return that started out as a bobble. Probably the key to the return was a block by Scott Hogue right out here in front of us.
And I believe that block was on number 45, Gene
Godwin.
The same, too, that had the intense conversation earlier in the game. So I'm sure there's nothing Scott Hogue enjoyed more than reintroducing himself to Gene Godwin.
Well, he stuck it to him, and it pried Robert Davis open. The kick is up. The referee signals that it's good. Timeout on the field now here at Fairfield. The score is Homewood 24 and Fairfield 7. That'll do a lot for your morale.
It absolutely will. This will put some breathing room between Fairfield and this Homewood squad. Also should allow them to relax some on offense and not feel as pressured as perhaps they do right now. A fumble, an interception, something along those lines prior to this punt return, and Fairfield scores, and it's a game again. Right now, this should allow this defense also to turn loose and go after Pratt, something they haven't done so far. Perhaps Coach Thorson will start to blitz those linebackers, which he hasn't done to this point.
Well, 5:37 remaining in the third quarter. 24-7 your score here from Fairfield. Every time our cameraman takes a shot of the cheerleaders, I scramble for a list of their names, and I don't ever get it. So I'm going to keep it handy, and we'll give you a list of those cheerleaders because they do a great job for us at Homewood High School. Here's the kickoff. West Steed advances on the ball, puts it in the air. Coming down to number 48. But I don't have a number for him.
Looks like number 18.
Oh, it was 18. Sean Shepard, sometime the receiver.
By Gene Oliver of Homewood, it will be Fairfield, 1st and 10.
You see number 45 there on your screen, Gene Godwin. I'm not sure he still is calmed down after that 85-yard Robert Davis punt return.
Well, we have a personal foul being signaled against Homewood on the kickoff return. That's going to really have something to do with good field position as they start this offensive set. Here are your Homewood cheerleaders. Let me tell you their names real quick. Jenny Crumpton, Brooke Dill, Suzanne Graffos, Allison Grizzle, Casey Kirby, Amanda Cook, Allison Leggett, Jessica Oakes, Carrie Rose, and Jean Steelman. Patriot cheerleaders for this year. Well, there's movement in the line. Looks like there's timeout on the field. Timeout called by Homewood. Coach Thorson out to talk to the guys again.
See the crowd there from Fairfield supporting their Tigers.
5:12 left in the third quarter.
I believe that's the first timeout Homewood's taken during the half. Fairfield has taken no timeouts. Looking at Kenneth Evans on the sideline, and he's jumping up and down on that foot, testing it out, running with it a little bit. Delighted to see that it looks like he's not going to be hampered by that.
He still seems to be doing pretty well, practicing some cuts there. And he also was in, carried the ball in the third quarter, so that's good news for the Patriots.
Yeah, really glad to see that.
And we at Fairfield would like to see that prestigious award come to Fairfield.
Coach Thorson setting his pass defense for sure.
Well, it's not going to be much secret. Eddie Pratt has shown us tonight that he can throw the ball, and his receivers have had an uncanny ability to get in the seams.
John Godwin in the backfield.
Pratt's back to pass. Incomplete. It was intended for Tyrus Moss. Moss was the one who caught the touchdown pass in the second quarter for Fairfield.
A good pass there, and Moss could still be running right now. He was wide open. Homewood relaxing, dropping back into their deep zones. Moss setting up underneath in a curl pattern, and the ball just underthrown by Pratt.
Yeah, Homewood's corners are about 6-8 yards now off the line. The pitch out is to Godwin, coming around the right side. Gene Godwin met up with David Southward, Eric Rebels, Michael Flint, There is an injured player now. May just have the wind knocked out of him.
Looks to be Gene Godwin, injured on the flag. Eric Rebels coming off the field, favoring an ankle.
Eric Rebels is limping off. You know, he hurt that ankle last week.
Early in the game.
Missed most of the Vestavia game. Really made a critical difference.
Move over Kenneth Evans, make room for Eric Rebels.
Well, you know, we started the night healthy, I thought, and sometimes those plaguing little injuries like twisted ankles, it'll go bad on you. The injured player for Fairfield was indicating something along his left side, so I don't know. I hope it's not a knee or an ankle, and certainly hope he'll be all right.
Looks as though he's about to get up and move off the field on his own, possibly try to knock the wind out of him.
Looks like he's going to be all right. Glad to hear that. We'll remind you of the time, the down, and the distance. 4:52 now remaining in the third quarter. 24-7 to score. Homewood up on top of Fairfield. Delightful night for football. As long as we're ahead, right?
As long as we're ahead. 24-7. Homewood now setting their defensive front.
3rd and 7 now. Fairfield moving. Pratt back in his deep pocket. That's Tyrus Moss again dropping in under the deep coverage, under the deep Homewood coverage.
Fairfield has found something with that pattern they like. The difference there being that Pratt had to throw the ball off his back foot. He could not step forward and follow through with the pass, thus making it short. Pressure that time being applied by number 79. That's Jonathan Hamaker.
That's going to be a key to their passing game, is our pressure from our defensive front. If he's got time to set up and watch his various routes, he can throw all night long. He can rip us apart.
Jonathan Shelby back to punt for Fairfield.
Shelby to punt for Fairfield. He got a good one away. Robert Davis takes it in and once again fumbles, but he drops on the ball.
Davis on the reception for Homewood.
Looked like Alfred Harris, number 55, in there first on the stop for Fairfield. Alfred Hudson also in on the stop.
So we have a flag on the play.
32-yard punt, but I'm told there is a flag on the play, and we can see it in the background.
Referee's talking it over. I didn't call it. Did you call it? No, I didn't call it. Did you? Okay, well, fine.
Looks like it was inadvertently dropped. No flag. No flag, so Homewood takes over. The line of scrimmage is going to be in the neighborhood of the 20, about the 21-yard line.
About the 20-yard line.
Difficult catch that time for Robert Davis. A knuckleball coming at him. Knuckleball, hard to catch. Fortunately, unlike his previous punt, or the kickoff that he kicked forward 20 yards, he was able to pounce on that one.
Number 53, Jason Zarzauer, and number 73, Chris Lesko in the game now for Homewood. 4:20 remaining in the third period of play. Davis on the keeper, but that was a broken play that went absolutely nowhere. A host of Fairfield tacklers.
Tackled by Williams of Fairfield.
Yeah, Edwin Patterson also in on the stop for Fairfield.
About 10 yards.
Mose Williams in there with him, too. Second and about 11 now. The play may have lost a half a yard. Kenneth Evans in at the fullback position. Robert Davis, the tailback. Jay looks it over, gives to Davis off right tackle. Second man through into their secondary, but not far into their secondary.
Not much yardage there. This Tiger defense has stiffened, gotten tougher as the game's worn on.
Again, Robert Williams on the tackle for Fairfield. All right, a gain of about 4 that time. Third and a long 6 now. They're on the 23-yard line. Try to get some stats for you on Robert Davis's yardage for the night. Robertson passes to Greer. Greer's got it out on the left. With plenty of room for the first down. Stopped by Jonathan Shelby, number 40.
Tackled by Jonathan Shelby.
Sean Shepard out there also for Fairfield. Good little quick out to Brian Greer.
Greer has improved week to week to week. Every game this year. When they opened up with Sylacauga, they threw the ball sparingly, made a couple of catches, but as the season's worn on, he has started doing things after he's caught the ball to make people miss tackles and gain extra yardage. He's just doing an outstanding job as the season progresses.
Well, 1st and 10. To give to Evans. Kenneth stopped by Jonathan Shelby after gaining just a couple of yards. Hard yards. Always hard for the first guy through there.
Not a lot of room in the middle of that line.
2nd and about 7 now. As your line of scrimmage is the Homewood 38. 2nd and 7 from the Homewood 38. They're looking at Eric Rebels on the sideline, still looking at that foot. Robertson back to pass, floats it out to Alexander Adamson, who cannot get under it in time. Eddie Pratt, the quarterback, playing at safety now, defending. He was almost there, but he just had to turn 2 different ways to spot the ball, and that was the half step that it took to throw him off.
Just a bit overthrown. A good plan, though, catching Fairfield off guard, using the long pass to loosen up this defense. They're playing a 7, sometimes throwing 8 men at the center of that Homewood line.
Well, as we look at Eric Rebels on the bench, let me tell you that Robert Davis for the night has 66 yards on 17 carries, but also in the kit bag, he brings along an 85-yard punt return. So Robert's had a good night in terms of total offense.
Oh, that should draw a flag.
Well, and I believe it did. 2 guys had Roberson in their grasp, Alfred Harris and also Fred Jewett had him, and Jay dumped it off, so I believe we're going to have an intentional grounding call.
Fred Jewett not sure who the penalty's on.
Grounding is the call.
Thinking it's on Fairfield when it in fact is on Homewood for grounding. That carries with it a loss of down.
As the officials talk about it, and is it from the point of the infraction? That's going to be a tough one. That's going to be a tough one. 1:48 now remaining in the 3rd quarter from Fairfield. Homewood up 24-7. And again, I've said it before, I'll say it again, it's by no means over. Field position played such an important part in the first half. Some short punts, some field position turnovers, and now Homewood finds itself deep in its own territory.
That is how Homewood jumped to its 17-0 lead. 10-yard punt by Fairfield, recovered a fumble inside the 30-yard line, and drove to a field goal. Now, with Homewood backed up, field position could play a part in the 4th quarter with less than 2 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter now.
Well, with 4th and 35, guess what? Jay Roberson punts it away. He got a good one away. Fairfield's number 24, Terrence Hunter, takes it in. A couple of yards on the return. Excellent coverage by Homewood that time.
Excellent coverage by Homewood. I'm not sure that Gene Godwin made the best decision.
Well, once again, running up for a punt that's short. Not able to control the ball, diving for it. Luckily, it bounced into the hands of his backup man.
I'm not sure it actually hit him, but that backup man was the key there.
Yeah, Hunter was the key to that.
He made a nifty run to return it about 10 yards, I think. 15-yard return.
All right, on the Homewood 47-yard line now, the line of scrimmage. Fairfield 1st and 10. Eddie Pratt's going to pass him again. He's going for all the groceries. He's got Sean Shepard, and it goes right through his hands. Shepard, the intended receiver.
Oh, my.
Out to practice early, as a coach I know used to say.
Oh, my. No worse feeling in the world. You see Sean Shepard run up the sideline. He sure doesn't want to run down the center of the field after that one. And to the sideline he goes. 6 points written all over it, as you heard someone in the stands say.
That's right, absolutely. The Homewood secondary growing up a little bit tonight. They're having a test.
They're being taught some lessons, that's for sure.
Ready. Well, Shepard's got good speed, as you've seen. He's their punt return man. The blitz, Adamson on the blitz, but he dumps it off to his screen. Gene Godwin
This
with
could
the
be a
ball.
problem.
Godwin coming across the field, makes a cutback. Finally in the grasp of Elvin Skipper. Skipper brings him down. He cut back across the grain, away from the Homewood pursuit.
I'm not sure
The ball is now on the 14-yard line.
I'm not sure who had the coverage on the back out of the backfield, but he was wide open and made the good cut across the field to gain extra yardage. I'm not sure what the next call will be, but this has got, even though they're on the 14, this will aid the defensive backs for Homewood. They've been playing a little loose, and with the ball closer in, that'll shorten the field.
We're calling timeout here. I'm not sure if Fairfield has the right number of people on the field.
Now, some of you out there watching this replay might be asking why I said that's good for Homewood. Well, the closer you get to the end zone, the shorter the field of play for the offense.
Especially for the passing offense.
For the passing offense, you've got to not only worry about the defenders, but you have to maintain your routes, you have to shorten your routes, and you have another enemy, that would be the baseline of the end zone.
Absolutely.
The Homewood defensive backs don't have as much field to cover.
Well, they're talking about it on the field now as time is called by Fairfield. That's Fairfield's second timeout of the second half. We've got 29 seconds remaining in the quarter. It remains to be seen what they'll do as a result of this particular timeout. I'm not sure. I couldn't get a count on how many men they had on the field, but they did send in a player with a play, and no one came back out. I'm not too sure they didn't call timeout to adjust the number of people they had on the playing field. If that's the case, that could have been a costly timeout. Eddie Pratt on the fake pitch out. Pratt throws it away easily. Oh, we're going to get a penalty on that one. 81, Latanska Boswell, the retented receiver, but I'm afraid that we had some holding to the jersey there.
Another timing pattern.
Yep.
It's the offense.
Well, I believe he's signaling offensive pass interference. That's where the flag came. Right in the corner by the end zone. No, I'm sorry, defensive pass interference, not offensive.
I'm not so sure there wasn't a little bit of offensive with a little pushing off from that offensive end.
What a lot of the folks around us are saying here, that there was some pushing off.
Again, Fairfield coming with the timing pattern to the end that time. This time, Pratt got enough height on the ball to give his receiver an opportunity to catch it.
All right, the ball on the 8-yard line now. First and 10. No, first and about 5.
Come on, Lee!
Pratt on the bootleg around the left side. A penalty there. Ridden out of bounds. Steed in on that tackle. Who else was in over there?
Scott Hogue turning the ball
southward.
Saw a flag fly just as he was clearing the end that time.
Jonathan Hammaker signaling we may have a clip. Clip on Fairfield may be one of the calls.
Looks to be a blocking below the waist, possibly by one of the crackback or wide receivers coming back toward the center. That's what it is, blocking below the waist.
Blocking below the waist.
There's a certain guidelines inside which you cannot come from the outside in and block below the waist. They did that to eliminate crackback blocks that were very costly in terms of injuries. And that's the penalty being assessed there. Someone getting a little overzealous and going for the knees.
What a key defensive play. Still first and goal. Still first and goal. But the line of scrimmage is on about the 23-yard line. 26-yard line. All right, Eddie Pratt's looking for his passing routes again. Plenty of time. Gives it all he's got. Overthrown in the end zone. overthrown in the end zone. Sean Shepard, the intended receiver, but a yard off his fingertips, I would guess.
And again, he had all night to throw it. Homewood just not getting any pressure on Pratt.
Clock stops with 8 seconds now. 24-7 the score.
Barry, how big would these plays be right now if they had scored late in the second quarter?
My goodness. Almost to the end of the third quarter. This will probably be the last play of the third quarter. Pratt now with second and goal from the 23. No flags on the play. The pass incomplete. Intended to Terrence Hunter. Clock stops with 2 seconds remaining in the third quarter. Eugene Oliver defending that time.
You got to like what Fairfield's doing. They're not afraid to throw the ball down the field. Too many teams you see that are afraid to throw it down the center of the field. They throw the out patterns and they throw the flares to the backs, but they're afraid to throw it over the middle because they're afraid of interceptions or their quarterback just doesn't have the arm. Pratt has the arm, and he's showing it right now.
Interesting statistic here. We'll take it after we look at this. Eddie Pratt back to pass now. Pressured. I believe the ball deflected just as it was thrown. Who got him back there? Eugene Oliver, one of them. Also, Michael Flint back there.
That marks the end of the third quarter.
All right, that's the end of the third quarter. We made it through that one. Goodness gracious. Timeout on the field. The score, Homewood 24, Fairfield 7. We'll get ready for the third quarter while we say you're watching Homewood Patriot football.
Thinking of buying or selling a home? Wondering what a realtor can do for you?
Covering this exciting football game, a 5A Area 9 game between Fairfield and Homewood. The score is Homewood 24 and Fairfield 7. An interesting statistic, Fred, on the Fairfield passing attack, which we've seen a lot of tonight. Eddie Pratt has thrown the ball 20 times with only 4 completions. But he has thrown for 57 yards of passing offense, and it seems like it sure is a heck of a lot more.
It seems as though they've been catching the ball all night. If you told me I wasn't keeping up with it, and you'd not just told me they caught only 4, I would tell you they've caught 15 or 20 balls.
Well, he's going to probably put him up again. Eddie Pratt drops way back and cocks his arm and throws it as far as he can possibly throw it. Excellent coverage on that play back there by Brian Greer. Looks like Eugene Oliver also in on it.
Eugene Oliver playing safety the way it's supposed to be played. Playing center field that time, not allowing this time to happen what happened previously. On the other plays, he was playing catch-up. This time he was there first.
Absolutely. Well, as we start the fourth quarter, it's been a heck of a good football game tonight. Fairfield has absolutely set Homewood back a little bit in terms of how it defends against the passing attack. I think this is the most prolific passing attack we've seen so far this year.
So far, the coaches next week will be talking defensive pass protection, or defense, for sure.
All right, Robert Davis starts us off around the left side. We'll try and set down a distance for you, as it's a little tough to tell on the with the angle that we've got and only one camera here tonight. All right, the ball starts this set of downs on the 28-yard line. Play made 1 yard that time, 2nd and 9 from their own 29. Jay with a long count, he gives to the reverse. Was Skipper coming around on the reverse, but a penalty on the play. We'll have to wait and see.
Number 55, Alfred Harris, that time for Fairfield, not fooled at all by the reverse. Looks as though they'll decline that penalty. Alfred Harris playing defensive end the way coaches like to see it, especially on plays going away from you.
Yeah.
They tell them always go or have your pursuit, base your pursuit on the deepest offensive player. He did it that time and came face to face with Elvin Skipper,
who had the ball on the reverse. Well, the ball now on the 20-yard line, a loss of 8 on that play. So we're looking at 3rd and about 16. Jay Roberson back to pass. He throws, but way over Brian Greer's head out on the right. 18, Sean Shepard on the coverage.
Brian probably give Jay a message, don't throw him that high.
Or send me a ladder. Well, brings up fourth down and a lot of yardage, fourth and about 16. So Homewood will have to punt it away as we start the fourth quarter with less than a splendid offensive attack here.
Robertson back in formation for Homewood, back deep for Fairfield.
Terrence Hunter and Gene Godwin are back deep for Fairfield, and they're standing inside Homewood territory. Jay gets a good snap away. A kick going up out to the left. Takes a Fairfield bounce.
Looks to be about the 43-yard line, Barry.
Thank goodness Michael Flint fell on the ball and downed it before it went any further back. So, Fairfield starts in excellent field position on the Homewood 43-yard line. A 23-yard punt by Jay Roberson that time. The ball again on the 43. 10 minutes, 45 seconds remaining in the football game.
You might see Coach Thorson using the blitz more, bringing some of those secondary people, trying to pressure Pratt and not let him have the time he's had in the past to get these passes off. We saw it on a couple of plays previously. They were sending everyone.
Well, and you notice Pratt, when he drops back a mile. He's got a deep, deep pocket. So it's tough to get to him. He's dropping back a good 8 or 9 yards each time. That pass right into the hands of number 80, Fred Jewett. So a big completion for Fairfield. Plenty of room for the first down and more.
Damon Southward that time applying pressure, but I'm not sure Pratt was ever gave him a thought.
A 21-yard pass play. Here goes Pratt off center with the quarterback keeper. Picks his way down inside the 10-yard line.
Fairfield using that spread formation that time. Pratt seeing that the middle is wide open, he gives his center a pat or some type of signal, and that changes everything, and he's off to the races as he was on that play, setting up, I believe it, got that ball inside the 10-yard line.
It's on the 6-yard line with a 16-yard carry that time. It's the second time he's hurt us tonight on the quarterback keeper over the center. Time is out. Homewood, as Homewood wants to talk about it once again. The ball on the 6-yard line. A first and goal from the 6. Defensive coach Mike Thorson wants to talk to his troops a little bit. See if they can figure out what's going on here.
Well, Coach Thompson doing the same on his side of the field. A very entertaining ball game. You would think down 24-7, Fairfield might be on the verge of packing it in. It's just the opposite right now. Pratt's run down to the 6-yard line. Coach Thompson giving his offensive squad some encouragement. Thorson talking to his defensive unit. A very entertaining ball game, if you like, wide open. Not a lot of scoring as big scoring games go, but very entertaining.
Wide open offense. That's the second timeout, by the way, for Homewood in this half, so they have one remaining. We can only hope that they don't need it. All right, here we go. We'll set it up for you. Fairfield has it, 1st and 10 from their own 6-yard line. Homewood goes with a 4-man front. The give is to Godwin, the big tailback. He's inside the 5-yard line. Tackle made by Dusty Smith and Michael Flint.
Fairfield using some misdirection that time, getting the flow going to their left, allowing Godwin to cut back to the right side and possibly pick his hole, and hopefully catching Homewood looking for the pass.
Fairfield second and goal.
Hard to see exactly where the ball is down. It looks as though he's inside the 5.
Gene Godwin alone back in the backfield.
Pratt on the keeper. Over the middle. Damon Southward was going to strip the ball away from him this time, but the whistle had blown a little too quickly.
Third down and goal, Pratt on the
That brings up 3rd and goal now.
Tackled down the middle of the Homewood line.
Interesting call now for Coach Thompson. They've had some success with the rollout. They've had some success with the pass, but they haven't had any success with the pass close, down close, short passes. They haven't been that successful.
Pratt's going to try it. Back to pass. Pressured. Throws it away. Just through the hands of number 20, Rashawn Godwin. Now an interesting call for the coach. Brings up 4th and goal from the 3. The clock runs now with the clock stopped now with 8:35 remaining.
The play was there. Deshaun Godwin was there. A little too much on the pass, a little bit too high.
A little high. He was stretched out all the way. Well, here's your play. 4th down for Fairfield from the 3. Pratt on the fake. Comes left. He won't make it. What a defensive play. Elvin Skipper on the stop. Damon Southward on the stop. Oh, my goodness. It's the second time now, Fred, that Homewood's defense has risen to the occasion.
I've got to think this Fairfield offense is more dangerous when they're 40 yards out or more than they are inside the 5.
When they have room for the wide open offense, they are more dangerous.
But I have to question that play call, a naked bootleg from the 4 on 4th down. You want to give your offense some options. You want to flood that zone. If nothing else, you want to flood the zone and give your quarterback the option of running or passing and give him someone to throw to. Well, that time Fairfield didn't give Pratt anything.
Well, Homewood takes over now from their own. We'll see if we can set the line of scrimmage for you. From their 5-yard line, Robert Davis being called upon now to do the workhorse role. Terrence Hunter on the tackle for Fairfield.
Gain of 5 yards.
That's a 6-yard gain. They're out to the 11-yard line. Call it 2nd and a long 4.
Important now for Homewood to run some clock, as they say. Take some time off this clock and hopefully leave Fairfield with a win.
7:37 on that clock. 7:37 remaining in your ball game from Fairfield tonight. 24-7 the score. The give to Robert Davis. Davis off right tackle. Going nowhere. Alfred Harris on the stop. No gain on that particular play. Still the line of scrimmage on the 11-yard line. Call it 3rd and 5.
There you see Coach Thorson again talking with his defensive crew. Eric Rebels, Lee Thompson, Michael Flint.
Dusty Smith.
Good
to see Eric back up and at him again. Glad that ankle injury is not plaguing him.
3rd and 5, a big play here. A 1st down would really help the Homewood cause.
A pass by Jay Roberson, but overthrows Robert Davis running to his right. Davis, by the way, 20 carries for 74 yards, and of course that 85-yard punt return. Sean Shepard defending for Fairfield that time.
Not much touch on that pass that time by Roberson.
Very, very high pass, too. All right, the clock stops at 6:47. This is the time in the game when we want that clock to run. Jay's back to kick. Gets the kick away. Godwin takes it in, bobbles the ball, takes it in at his own 44-yard line. Brought down just inside the 40. Hogue on the stop. Godwin getting up slow that time. A 34-yard punt by Jay Roberson.
Again, Godwin carrying that ball loosely. But when you're down 24-7, those type of things you don't really think about.
All right, your line of scrimmage now, the 36-yard line. So Fairfield with excellent field position to move, but with time running out. 6:20 remaining in the football game.
Pratt at quarterback for Fairfield.
Pratt with the pitch back to Godwin, but he slips up in the backfield.
On the carry for Fairfield.
Jonathan Hamaker with just a friendly tap on the back to make sure he stays down.
Godwin really becoming the workhorse for this Fairfield offense. Early in the game, they had no success. Coach Thompson going to a pass-oriented attack, albeit they don't have that many catches, yet they would appear to, and they're having some success with it. And Godwin carrying a big load for the Tigers.
Well, a loss of 6. 2nd and 16 now as Eddie Pratt drops back. Pressure, but he gets it away. That's 25, Tyrus Moss. Moss has the only score for Fairfield tonight. Brian Greer and Elvin Skipper on the tackle.
Again, catching the ball under the zone. The defensive backs for Homewood playing a little deep and retreating on the snap of the ball. Moss simply taking what they'll give him coming in underneath. Pratt doing a good job of getting the ball to him.
All right, 1st and 10 now. On the pitch back to Godwin. Godwin thought he was going to throw the ball, I think, for a second, but he turned around and ran right.
Godwin on the carry.
And the play will fail to gain maybe a yard. Line of scrimmage on the 19. just inside the 20, Fred.
Some running backs have a tendency to want to do that. Their vision of the field is such that they don't think there's any defenders on that side, that they stop and cut it back. That time Damon Southward and a host of Homewood tacklers there.
Eddie Pratt drops back, some pressure, dumps it off right at the line of scrimmage. That's Gene Godwin, who caught the ball. Damon Southward was right on him, though. Gene Godwin's played a heck of a ball game tonight for Fairfield, and you know he must be tired.
Aside from Moss, he's been their offense.
Well, and he's played both ways, too.
Well, we have an injured Patriot on the field, number 79. It'll be Jonathan Hamaker.
Is it 79? Jonathan Hamaker, the injured player. It looks like it may be...
The trainer's out talking to him, so he is talking to him, so he is conscious and letting him know what the problem might be.
Homewood's trainers have had their hands full this year. Well, Jonathan's up and on his feet. He's coming off under his own power. My guess is we'll see him back in there in just a minute.
A play or two, let those stars clear out.
One of the great Homewood players this year, Jonathan Hamaker. He's in on every play just about. Looks like he's all right. Okay, third and about 7 now. Pratt's back. Number 40, Jonathan Shelby, the intended receiver, but Eugene Oliver was having nothing to do with that.
No, but again, one of those tricky plays. Shelby makes the catch. He's behind the receivers. They didn't knock the ball away from him. They allowed it to go on through. Very close play.
Brings up 4th down. We'll see what Fairfield decides to do from this distance.
A good play that time by Pratt, looking off the secondary too. I remembered that. Shelby was going down the field. Pratt was looking the other way, and at the last minute went to Shelby deep in the corner of the end zone. A good job by Pratt to look off the secondary.
All right, Pratt on 4th down. Tipped and intercepted for a touchback. Intercepted by Eugene Oliver. Tyrus Moss was the intended receiver, once again cutting across as he has done so effectively tonight. But Eugene, after the tip, came in and picked it off. I did not see who made the tip, who got his hand on the ball.
I believe that was Brian Greer.
Was it Greer?
I believe it was.
Well, you know what? We're going to make it official.
Brian Greer with the tip. Playing a whale of a game. Give him some credit.
Wednesday night, when I watch the playback, we'll know what we were talking about. Reminder to our folks watching that these games are played back every Wednesday night at 8:30 on cable channel 35 in the Homewood area. All right, Homewood moves now. Fumble. Looks like Fairfield may have recovered. And indeed they have. Roberts had trouble tonight keeping his hands on the football.
I'm not sure whether it's a concentration or Roberson's just not getting the ball to him. You see number 25 there.
Tyrus Moss recovered the fumble for him.
Now goes limping off for Fairfield. Looks like he might have hurt an ankle in that pileup.
He sure is. That would be a critical loss for them. Coach Thorson calling in his defensive plays here.
I think he has three of their total catches.
Yeah, he does. He does. Moss is their best receiver, I believe. All right. Line of scrimmage is your 23-yard line. Eddie Pratt, the quarterback. Lots of time. Dumps it to a screen to Gene Godwin. Godwin has the ball.
Pass included to Gene Godwin.
Tackled by Michael Coggin.
Scott Hogue once again.
Scott Hogue in on the tackle.
Saying hello to his old friend Gene.
Tackled by Scott Hogue of Homewood.
We're going to have to go teach the PA announcer how to pronounce Scott's last name.
Chris Cohen is the son of Mrs. Leah Cohen. And Jonathan Shelby is the son of Mrs. Betty Clinton.
Lee Thompson that time saying no to that quarterback draw. Michael Coggin also.
It looks like Eddie Pratt has sustained an injury here. And, good grief, what a loss that would be for Fairfield at this point.
Sure would.
He's got a bad problem with one of his wrists or arms. Looks like he may be trying to shake it off.
Direct directing his receivers with enthusiasm there.
Yeah. They're about to be called for too much time, but the flags fly. They got him before he got the snap away.
Jonathan Hammaker in again for the Patriots. Good to see Jonathan back.
Yeah, Jonathan back in there. Well, delay of game, obviously the call here. So they'll mark off 5 against Fairfield. That'll make the line of scrimmage to 19 now. Time is out for Fairfield. The clock stops with 2:38 remaining in the ball game. 24-7 the score here. I'll tell you what, the final score of the game, if it stays the way it is now, will not be a reflection of the activity that we've seen here tonight.
It looks as though that's all for Pratt tonight. Number 40, Jonathan Shelby, helping him to the sidelines.
Well, you know, Eddie Pratt came away from the play before last, holding that left hand.
Pratt not very happy about being taken out, talking it over with the coaches.
One of the assistant coaches at Fairfield. But Pratt doesn't look as though he's injured.
No, I'm not sure I understand taking your quarterback out on 3rd down.
I'm not either. All right. 3rd and about 7.
New quarterback in, number 24. That's Terrence Hunter.
All right, Hunter now at quarterback. Spreads his men out. Wants them to spread out. Fairfield brings a man in off the bench late. Interception by Dusty Smith. Makes it a moot point. I believe we'll get a call of illegal participation on the part of Fairfield, but my guess is Homewood will decline that. A Fairfield player came in off the bench at the last minute and set up in the backfield. So some confusion taking over here in the last seconds of that timeout. As we keep up the Robert Davis watch, Robert has 21 carries on the night for 77 yards, and again, we need to mention he also has that 85-yard punt return. So his total offense for tonight in excess of 150 yards. All right.
Looks as though Fairfield was attempting the tried and true 12-man offense.
That's right. Well, the penalty declined, obviously, after the interception by Dusty Smith. So Homewood takes over now, and we'll grind it out and hopefully keep that clock moving for another 2 minutes and 33 seconds. If they can do that, we'll log our first Area 9 victory for the season, Fred.
Robert Davis in, also Kenneth Evans in the backfield. If the Homewood offense is going to put some rushing yardage together, now would be the time to do it. Use up the rest of this clock.
All right, the pitch out to Davis. Davis around the left side, but pursuit heavy by the Fairfield defenders there.
Number 61 that time. New player in for Fairfield. Don't have a number for him.
We don't have a number on him.
In just a moment, the PA announcer will provide us with one.
PA announcer may not have a number for him. A loss of 8. The line of scrimmage is now the 4-yard line for Homewood. We've been deep in our own territory a good bit tonight. Jay hands off to trying to catch a number. Robert Davis, I guess. You know, we need to say something, Fred, at this point as the game winds down. We sure appreciate several of the members of the Homewood Police Department who accompanied the team and the fans out to Fairfield tonight. Sergeant Atkinson and some of the other members of the Homewood Police Department, we appreciate their being here tonight.
Sure, everyone that comes out and volunteers their time to make these broadcasts possible. This equipment doesn't get placed and hooked up and situated on its own. Volunteers make it possible, and we sure appreciate them coming out.
We do indeed.
Also, let's give these fans a hand. Give them some credit for following this Homewood team out to Fairfield. for this first region area game of the season. Large contingent here following the Patriots.
I'll tell you the truth, I'm not sure, but what Homewood didn't have more fans in the stands than Fairfield did tonight.
I think you're absolutely right.
As Jay Roberson drops back in punt formation, it would be we'd be remiss if we didn't announce the members of the broadcast crew. Of course, our chief engineer is Dudley Hindman. Tommy King, one of our technicians, Jack Munger on camera. Also, when we're at home on camera, we have Wes Gray and Dave Rothoff on camera. Danny Callies, our statistician on the sideline. Mike Quinton and Larry Wygand, our spotters in the stands. Without them, Fred, as I've said before, it'd be me and you sitting on a bench flapping our gums.
And let's not forget all the unofficial spotters we've had helping us here tonight. Lots of parents, lots of friends of these Homewood players and coaches that have come out to Fairfield.
25 seconds now remaining in the football game. Larry Wygand just said since I said his name, he was gone. So we're down to one spotter now. A 24-yard punt by Jay Roberson that time as Fairfield sets it up one more time to have a go at it. Eddie Pratt with the pass in and out of the hands of the intended receiver, number 40, Jonathan Shelby.
Looks like Eric Rebels getting the worst of that.
Eric will strap that helmet right back on, though. 19 seconds remaining. The trainer out to look after him. Maybe asking him to spell Eric about now.
Asking him where he is, what's his birthday, does he know his name?
I'll tell you what, those guys have given a lot this year. They've given some hard licks and they've taken some awful licks. Ours is a team that has played with a lot of injuries. You don't notice it when those guys are out there on the field, but on Saturday morning when they wake up, those ankles are 3 inches wider than normal. Legs hurt, backs hurt, and it's a real tribute to their character, the way they've played so far this year.
Those little nicks and dings in the 6th game of the year, we're into the 6th game, those little nicks and dings don't ever really have time to completely get well because you're playing every week and you never really completely recover. That's why going into the area games this late in the season, the injury bug or lack of it will probably tell the degree of success this team will have.
Absolutely. Well, Eddie Pratt one more time will drop back. Damon pressuring him. The pass complete. Looks like it's complete to Vashon Godwin. Scott Hogue on the stop.
Fairfield
goes without the huddle. The clock counts 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's the ball game. Well, one last play. Pratt throws with all he's got. Out of the hands of the intended receiver. And ladies and gentlemen, that's the ball game. Well, the final score here from Clemens Stadium in Fairfield, Alabama, Homewood 24. Homewood 24, let me say it again, and Fairfield 7. We'll be back for some closing comments right after this message from one of our sponsors. You're watching Homewood Patriot Football.
And of course, thinking of buying or